Welcome back to Metalarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Coffin Feeder, this first album, Big Trouble,
Hi.
and more things related to the metal war in general. So we are starting by asking, how are you doing today? How is the band over the last couple of years? Because the album was started its career in 2021, and now we have this new album in, well, this first album, the first full-length album in 2025.
Yeah. First of all, I'm great. I'm fine. Thank you very much. The sun is shining. Everything is fine here. And yeah, why is there a bit of time against the EPs and a full album? Everybody knows that we all have other bands, so it was a bit difficult to manage already the touring for like Sven. He had a lot of tours. My band and the other guitar player's band, we also had a bit of concerts and tourings. So it was a bit difficult to manage, but yeah, it's finally there.
Hmm. Okay, okay, nice, nice. And now talking about from this for this big trouble, when do you decide to write songs for this new album? Where it was during the sessions, for example, from your EP on Over the Top, or when do you decide? And all the songs are new, completely new, or perhaps do you rescue any composition from your previous EPs from 2022?
Oh, we already wrote some things in 2022 for the full album. But I kept on writing songs, kept on writing, and there are some songs that are from 2022, and there are some new things. So we made a decision to take the best ones for the full album. In fact,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, it was. We had a long time to do it, so we took advantage of it. So yeah, there were already like old songs prepared, but we made them better. In fact, so we had a lot of time to make the songs really like we would like they would sound. You know.
Okay, okay, okay. So now, and how was the process of together like a jam from Lentle and now Sven from Aborted, because a lot of members of this band, like they're well-known musicians in Belgium. So how was the process of to gather all these musicians? Because all musicians hustle their own projects.
Huh. How can I say it? The process is simple. I think everybody knew what was expected from them. So, like I said, I created things at home. Like Jan, our bass player, he also created things at home, and we put all things together online. We communicate all the thing online. In fact, because we live in all different regions of Belgium, so it was like, yeah, I'm sending my stuff to Sven or to Jan or to Jeroen or to Siba, and then they answer. They answer like, "Hey, maybe you can try this. You can try that," and then you go back at your home studio and you work it out, and that's how the process went. In fact, and then after when the songs were a bit complete, we go to rehearsals, the songs live, and that's it.
Okay,
It's as
okay.
simple as that. So
Okay, okay. Now, when I was reading how in this situation, let's talk about the Big Trouble, because Big Trouble is on the streets now, and a lot of people listening to this new album. So how it was, or how is the reaction? How it was the reaction for the people from this first album, the reviews, the comments, etc. And how do you take about reviews, for example?
for now on, everything went very well. I'm very overwhelmed, in fact, of every uh, yeah, everything. It was a bit for whoa, what the fuck is happening? But like reviews, the reviews that I wrote read now were very cool, were very great, and maybe there can be a review that is not so good, but it's everybody has another perspective of music about style. So yeah, you can take it seriously. It's the person that writes the review. That's how he sees the music. You know, everybody sees music in his own way. So everybody has the right to think about how music is, I think.
Okay, okay, okay. So now in this into this process about talking about the style, because the music, because when I hear your music, you are more related with death metal, with deathcore, but a lot put the label for you that you play you are the deathcore man. But yeah, if I try to relate this concept from deathcore, well, I know to Suicide Silence, Whitechapel, or this kind of music, but you are more related for the classic stuff in death metal. Your riffs are more classic than the deathcore or this, I don't know, this overwhelming music that is the deathcore. So as you are one of the creators of the music from this Big Trouble, so how do you label the music of your band? Do you consider that a deathcore, death metal band, or brutal
It's
death
very
metal band?
difficult to. Yeah, it's very difficult to say because I have like influences in the hardcore. Yeah, it's so rich in influences because I was raised like in the hardcore scene. Then I moved on in the more death metal scene. So like influences and how can I explain what the music sounds? It's like that. It's Coffin feeder. You know, it's a bit of everything. Like our bass player, he's more influenced in like the grindcore. I am more inspired and my influences are more like in the death metal and the deathcore. But if you have a mix of everything, you know, like the hardcore, the grindcore, the death metal, the deathcore, you have what you hear now. So, and I don't think it's I don't want to stick with one style, you know. I just want to do everything a bit, you know. That creates a very cool thing. In fact, that's what
Okay,
I like. That's
okay,
my
okay.
opinion, you know.
Okay, okay. Now we're talking about more about little the promotion for this new album. So what kind of plans do you have for the Coffin Feeder, this Big Trouble? So perhaps you will release more videos, perhaps you will embark in tours, or who knows, perhaps you have more, or you're already working a new album, who knows?
Yeah, for now on, we have a release party at the 5th of June in Brussels in the AB.
Mhm,
Then we're gonna do some festivals
mhm.
like Alcatraz, Summer Breeze, and we're seeing now for do a lot of more. But the thing is, we never expected that. We were a bit overwhelmed how the reactions were, and we're very excited. And I think it's better to see how things goes now, and if there's offers that comes in, we'll check it out and we'll do it. No,
Hmm.
so
Okay.
for like more like videos and stuff. For the moment, we don't have any video clips ready to do, but it's all possible, you know. Sven now is on tour with Aborted, so we gave him the time to do his tour
Mhm.
good,
Okay.
and we do all the rest of the things now for the moment. And when he's back, we can see everything, how we can plan stuff or how we can do it. You know.
Okay, okay. Another detail captured my attention is that in this case Jan belongs to Lensley, And then Sven is belongs to Aborted. So there is a busy musicians because both bands are great, well known into extreme music. All the times playing gigs, playing so. So how do you gather all people to play at a tour when you have a lot of bands? So because now when I take a look for the descriptions that the old members, they have their own bands. So and how do you gather for all this one to play, for example, a full tour? Because all people working in another bands also.
Yeah, that's a really, it's a difficult thing, but I think it's, we can manage it well, because it's like you have an agenda, and you see like, okay, you guys are now like one month on tour, then you guys are 2 months at home, then we can say, okay, in those 2 months that you're back, we can do things with Coffin Feeder. That's, in fact, it's just as easy as that. It's just having a good communication with each other, and a good management about doing all those stuff, you know. If there is a show that, if we get an offer and we see already that, okay, this one is not possible because you guys are gone, or you're on a tour, yeah, okay, then it's a pity, but that's how it is. If you play with other 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 persons that have other bands, they, I think it's normal, but it's well managed for a moment now. Sometimes it's a bit hard, but I ain't gonna complain or something like that. It began also like a side project, but now it's getting serious now. So we know already that we have work to do. So it's cool.
Hmm.
Everybody is super excited for it. So I think everybody's gonna do his best to make sure things happen now.
Hmm. Okay. 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 Okay, now we're talking about other kind of topics. So as you can see, there is a word now releasing per weekend, it like the 50 or 60 releases per weekend. That's amazing. It's not compared with any era of the metal. Of the metal, it's very different. So now, in some ways, Coffin Feeder is a new band. Even you have all musicians then inside of the lineup, but it's Coffin Feeder with this big trouble is a new band in mostly all senses. So, and now for you, what is the biggest difference that this big trouble has compared with a lot of stuff coming each weekend? Because it is impossible now to hear more than 50 and 60 releases per weekend.
That's a that's a hard question. Oh, I think just enjoy what you do yourself is the most important thing. Believe in what you're doing, and I believe in what we are doing, because I think we do something apart. We ain't. How can I say it? We just do what we enjoy to do, and that's why I said also, like, we don't stick to one genre, like one like okay, we want to just do deathcore. No, we mix them all together, and that's just how we sound, and that's maybe the thing that it makes it works, you know. I don't know, that's my opinion. That's, yeah, if that's a good answer to your question.
Okay, okay, no, no, I understand. I understand. I understand about this. So now, other question is that, well, in this case, you are in like this new, well, they're like no, this new, no, it's not like a new sound. As you can see now, there's 1,000 of releases. But let's put an example, just 50 releases, 50 to 60 releases per weekend. So now with
Mhm.
this one, you can see the extreme metal brought to us since the 90s, a lot good musicians, good techniques, good everything. Everything is perfect now. All records sounds perfect in these years. So now, what's your point of view about now the extreme music has well brought this standardization of the sound in all records in all musicians because each weekend you can find 50 releases, but the 50 releases sounds amazing, sounds wonderful, great musicians, etc., etc. But it's not
Yeah.
like the 80s or 90s when you find
Yeah.
10 records and 6 records and amazing and 4 records not amazing. So that's completely normal for the era. But now all bands sounds amazing. So what's your point about now this standardization of the sound in the stream music, especially?
That's just I already said it. Everybody has his own vision about music and is his own things that he likes to hear, you know. And sometimes when I check the new albums that come out, and if it takes me,
Mhm.
I will listen to it. If it doesn't take me, I will not listen to it, because why should I listen if it's not, yeah, if I don't think it's cool. And that's just, everybody has another opinion about music. And so I'm sure there will be people that listens to our shit, and there are people that not gonna listen to our music because maybe they don't like. But you don't focus on the the people that don't want to listen. You focus on the people that want to listen to your music. So yeah, in fact, the metal industry is so big. That's true. You have a lot of good musicians, and like on the guitars also, like you have like those shred machines. That you okay, yeah, everybody has the option to check out what he wants to hear, and it's cool to have like the metal scene that's going bigger and bigger and bigger, and that you should take it like an advantage, in fact, that the metal scene is going bigger, because now more people going to listen also to the um, not to the huge bands, you know, but also like in more in the underground scene, you know. More people are more in are getting more interesting in the underground scene, because the underground scene is more available. You can hear them now. You can check them out on the internet. You can check them out on every streaming platform, because everybody does it. So it's like an advantage, I think.
Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Now,
Back in the days in the 90s, for example, you had to make sure to go to shows to check those bands out. You know, you have to do an effort to check new things. There you didn't have a cell phone with every band of the world that you can check on every platform. That's true, you know. So now metal scene or hardcore scene or grind or deathcore scene is getting way way bigger. So it's, I think it's more an advantage, but it can be the other side also, you know.
Mhm.
But I see it more like an advantage.
Okay, okay. Another concept talking about now that more specifically from Belgium, because the great bands for Belgium is Aborted, Lentle, and I have more bands from there. So how is the scene now compared to the 90s or 80s? Because I cannot remember a huge stone from the 90s or 80s, especially in the street music in Belgium. And now we have more bands releasing records, more bands, more musicians appear on the in Belgium scene. So how do you see this scene compared to the 90s, especially into the extreme music in Belgium?
Yeah, the scene is bigger. That's a fact. The scene is getting is getting bigger and bigger. We have also like more festivals that now exist. Like you have Alcatraz. Now it's a very big metal festival in Belgium. Um, More people get to know each other more and more, because there's more to do. In fact, um, so I think it's growing, it's growing, it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. So it's very good thing. Also, like in the musicians, uh, everybody knows everybody a bit, you know. So it's very cool, very cool. Has a very good respective way to each other also. So I think we have a good scene in Belgium.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
we are a little country, so yeah, not so it's not so easy to yeah, to do it against the other countries like United States or Germany, or
Mhm.
there's a very big country, you know. We are Belgium.
Okay,
It's as big as that on a map, you know.
okay, okay. Well, yeah, that. Okay, yeah, yeah. Now we're very close to we're very close to this interview, Bart. And now talking about now, as you can see into the street metal, especially there's a lot of mixtures, a lot of textures, a lot of etc. It's not like the when you hear a band from the 90s, well, just the band has the own sound. Here's those personal involved or evolutions on these kind of things. Now we have a lot of stuff, but a curious thing happened that when you hear new bands, when you hear all these new bands are trying to relate the best era of the metal extreme metal, it was the 80s, it was the 90s, and mostly musicians or the old ones attached to the old stuff and not the new stuff, because I interview a lot of people saying that why are you not listen new bands, and they told me that all the time that we attach with the old sensations, with the nostalgic, etc., etc., etc. So, and for this, what is your opinion about now? Just the mostly all musicians stick with the old influence, with the bands from the 80s, from the 90s, from the 70s, and when they try to show a new band, they say that it's not like the 80s or 90s. That's a curious thing in the metal extreme, in extreme music especially.
Yeah, music is an evolution, and if you are like how can I say it? I'm gonna just talk for myself now, and that's when I compose music. You can do like the new sound of deathcore or death metal. It's a specific sound, but your roots are in the old school death metal things, and you will always grab to the old stuff. That's for sure. You will always go back to your old stuff, and you're gonna maybe put it into the new jacket. You know, in this new jacket.
Mhm.
You understand what I mean?
Yep,
So
yep.
it's like that's a choice you made, and yeah, I also every time again I go back to the roots, because that's why I'm raised with that, and so that's what I like. The new things are also mega, are super cool, but the old things are the old things, and that's how you grew up, and that's your biggest influences are always like from the bands from back in the days. I think you are inspired about the new things also, but the old school stuff, I think those are your yeah,
Mhm.
those are the things, you know. When you were
Mhm.
young, when you were 14 years old, you were like a kid, and the first time you saw like a band
Mhm.
rocking on stage, you were like, whoa, and that kept in yeah, those are the memories that you those are for life, you know. So you always keep back going to those roots, I think, and
Mhm.
you refresh them.
Okay. 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 Well, Bart, we arrived to the sad moment of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one like me. Oh, this new album is a great one. Congratulations on this big trouble. So
Thank you very much.
it's a great first album. So perhaps do you wanna add something to your new Latin American fans and obviously Metallican followers?
Thanks a lot. I I can say thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in the United States or in every country in the world.
Mhm.
I'm very psyched to visit all those countries, to bring the music that we make in all the countries, and yeah, listen to our stuff. Thank you very much. Support us. I'm overwhelmed about every reaction we already got. So thanks a lot.